Good morning. Welcome to I Jump Instead. Welcome to this daily 30-minute class. It's time to train. It's time to make our muscles stronger, our joints more flexible, our lymphatic system cleaner and healthier, and it's time to have fun and do easy fitness at home on our Rebounders. I love jumping instead. I know you love jumping instead. That's why you're here in this class. So let's get started. Welcome all new jump stars to this class. If this is your first class, we go live 6 days a week. Welcome to everyone that's been doing these classes regularly. I'm so happy that you're here. And so let's go ahead and get started and get feeling good because jumping makes us feel good. So we commit to it daily and have easy world, I like to say. Easy world is just a way to view life and think of life as being easy. And the Rebounder is one example of how we can approach fitness and mobility with ease and with grace and with poise. And so if we can stay focused on the positive things in our life, then we will attract more positive things into our life. So let's go ahead and get into this easy low bounce. We've got our handlebar here so we can stand and not anticipate where we are in space. We can have this here to keep us balanced right in the center of our mat. And then we can use it as needed because there are no rules. We don't have to test our balance and not use it, but we don't have to use it. And so see what works best for you. I always use my handlebar. We're closing our mouths and nose breathing so that we can increase that oxygen uptake. We can keep our teeth moist. We can keep our jaw in good mouth posture. We want to have a nice strong jaw shape, and so in order to do that, we need to have our jaw in good posture, just like having good posture in our spine. We want to have that height in our body so we stand tall. Keep your jaw closed, keep your lips together, and then just breathe relaxed and low and light. We actually typically need less air than we think. So just breathe calmly here. Let's go ahead and do some humming. Humming feels so good. Humming is something that we can do on the Rebounder to enhance the benefits, but we can also do off the Rebounder and keep ourselves in that calm state. So let's go ahead and inhale and hum. One more time, inhale and hum. And we'll relax. Feeling that up and down, moving and pumping our entire body. Let's go ahead and position ourselves to do some easy Tai Chi twists. So we're going to let go with one hand and we're going to use our other hand to keep us upright. And then we're going to just stay in perfect posture through the spine and the jaw. And keep the knees loose and the feet loose so that you can get into your ankle, knee, and hip, spine, shoulder, and neck flexibility. And just move with grace. Move smoothly. This time, let's keep our head facing forward and look over our neck, our shoulder, tilting our head a little bit. One more on each side. Last one. Feeling the core staying nice and strong. Let's go ahead and lift one arm up and over. And feel free to loosen up this leg here so you're leaning into this standing leg that you're stretching up through. Use your handlebar to lift yourself up and then reach up and down. Shifting to the other side again, loosening up this opposite leg. Feel free to look up. Get a little neck stretch there. And tilt over and get into that flexibility. Perfect. If you can let go with both hands with me, let's do that. And if you need to stop bouncing for maximum balance, do that. Otherwise, I want you to reach out through your hands all the way up. Use your core and back strength to hold you up through the center of your mat. Come up to prayer position above you here. Stay calm in your breath. And then reach all the way down. through the deltoids, through the biceps, triceps, elbows, and wrists. And let's do this one more time. This time, bend your hands a little bit to get into your wrists and forearms, and then flip and come back up. Using your back muscles, this time I want you to come into a dive, one hand in front of the other, wrap your thumb around. Expand through your inhale. And come back down, stretching all the way through. Let's do it again. This time we're going to switch on the hold and the dive. Put the other hand in front, wrap the thumb around. Feel that stretch through the shoulders. And all the way back down again. So if you're not bouncing for maximum balance, then I want you to bounce between moves, and then you can come back to a stop and we'll do the next position. So this time we're going to put both hands behind the head, interlace the fingers, and just lean the head back into your shoulders, holding strong through your core to stay nice and balanced. Drop your chin a little bit if you're not feeling the stretch in your shoulders and your back. Perfect. And then I want us to twist and stay in the present moment with every bounce. Twist the other way. Perfect. And drop the hands. Let's go ahead and do some hip thrusting. Just easy breezy forward back here. Just through the hips and the stomach. So you're stretching and lengthening through the core muscles, loosening up the lower back. And then you might notice that you're also getting into your upper back a little bit with little baby arches. Move with your bounce speed. And you can always slow down and just do one little thrust, one little arch, and then have mid bounces in between so that you can go at your gentle pace. Perfect. Let's go ahead and do some flat-footed twisting here. So you can let go with both arms or you can swing with one arm. And just work with your flexibility here. Work with your bounce speed. Go ahead and switch arms if you're doing one arm at a time. Excellent. Work in those muscles and joints, waking ourselves up safely and slowly. Let's go ahead and bring our bounce down to a stop and do some easy hip stretching. And feel free to lift your arms up in this movement and also come up on the balls of your feet with each side bend and work into those hips. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and stop and bounce. Bouncing between non-bouncing movements is the key if you're going through non-bouncing movements. Let's go ahead and do some hip twists. Poke the knees out and get into those hips in a little bit of a different position here. Come up on the calves again, up on the balls of the feet, activating the calves and the ankles. And you're also welcome to take this slower by adding mid bounces, and you can also pick it up to full speed. See if you can also grab a glute clench, a little glute squeeze with each knee poke. There's always opportunity when it comes to jumping instead. We can always work through different muscles and grab more muscles with each move, which helps us to advance in our flexibility and strength. I also like to bring in a nice tightness into my jaw muscle. So I really sometimes push my lips together, keeping the teeth together, not clenched, just together. And then sometimes I'll lift my chin up just a little bit, have a little pursed face, and then this will help to have those jaw muscles contracted for extra tightening and toning. Perfect. Let's go ahead and do some calf pumping here. So we're just gonna emphasize the pump up into the balls of our feet. Just doing little heel lifts. And you're also welcome to slow down here and just do some calf raises. So whatever your intensity is for the moment, whatever your energy levels are. Perfect. And if you do feel confident to come all the way up to the balls of the feet and bounce, go ahead and do that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and do some walking here and pushing into our mat, activating the legs. I want us to use the handlebar to help us stay balanced right down the center of our mat. You may not have a handlebar, I hope you do, but if you don't, just stay balanced. I want you to use everything you got in here to stay low and balanced. If you do have your handlebar, but you want to try not using it, that's fine too. I like to stay right here in the center with the support of my handlebar. Now I'm walking fast, you pick your pace. Push in, feel your leg muscles strengthening and your breathing rate increasing. Stay calm in your breath. Let's go ahead and point the toes outward. We're strengthening the knees and the ankles and the hips. Strengthening our heart and our lungs. Perfect. Let's come back to parallel. And now let's come into pigeon toe. And feel free to move as slowly or as quickly as you desire. Use those core muscles too. We have this opportunity with our handlebar to keep ourselves right down the center and staying in the mind to muscle connection. So focus on the core. Let's come back to parallel and hold here for 17 more seconds. If you want to pick it up a little bit, feel free to. You can always reposition and try new ways to position yourself. I like to lean forward and stick out a little bit. Stick my bum out, pushing through the heels for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's just pump that lactic acid out. Now let's do some squatting. So we're just going to do some easy squats. I always like to work with minimal effort, and then I like to push endurance. We also can work with maximum effort and then take breaks and have intervals and do intervals. It depends on energy levels. It depends on, I want to say the goal or the outcome is the same whether we do intervals or steady state. I just like to have an easy mentality always, but sometimes we have the energy to push, so we could let go completely and squat down all the way. And at the maximum, we could even throw in a little bit of a jump. Let's just go 2 more. Last one. And now bounce and bring the breathing rate down. Pumping out lactic acid, full recovery. The Rebounder gives us all-in-one, strengthening recovery, fun, lymphatic health, immune system, immune strength, digestive assistance. I feel like when I switched my diet to a starch-based diet and I had jumping in my life, I was able to make that transition very smoothly because I was able to keep my digestion moving. Making any transition in diet, you know, it helps to have some assistance with digestion. So if you're looking to try a new diet, or you're trying a new diet right now, definitely jump intermittently throughout the day for that digestive assistance. Let's go ahead and do one more set here. So you can go easy like me, or you can push it a little bit and take breaks between trying new things. Focus on symmetry in your legs. Perfect. We're gonna go 6 more seconds and 5. Let's use those core muscles. 4, 3, 2, 1, and bounce. Perfect. Calm the body. It's always about bringing the body back to a calm state. If we're moving in intervals, if we work steady state through the workout, then we want to bring ourselves to that calm mindset through the whole workout, even if our intensity is up, or at the very least at the end of the workout. Let's go ahead and do some cardio. Let's just move a little bit more so we can bounce a little bit higher, and let's start to move our feet. So we can do the slide, we can do side to side steps, and then we can also incorporate arm movements. And you can just move in a coordination that feels right for you. And if you do more hopping, you're gonna bring the breathing rate up a little more, the heart rate. And then of course, if you start to do one leg jumping by jogging or kicking, always add mid bounces to keep yourself in the nose breathing fun zone. Let's just find that aerobic pace. And you can always switch it up too. You can do some jogging, and then if that brings your heart rate up too much, just slow down, bring your heart rate back down to the fun zone. I love incorporating full bodies, so feel free to do the same like I was saying before. You can do swinging with your arms, or you can do reaching. And then of course you can do no hand reaching in a star formation. And then you can start to connect to your mind to muscle. Lifting up works the shoulders, lifting out works the chest and lats, and then working down works the biceps, triceps. But at the same time, all three of these moves work all of your muscles, including your core and your legs and your glutes. Just easy little pumps, adding increased gravity and the force of acceleration to all of your muscles in a very balanced, safe way, keeping you strong and mobile. If you see yourself doing this in your latest years of your life, then you will have this flexibility and strength through the latest years of your life. Sometimes we get caught up in thinking that we need to have certain aesthetic goals, when really we want to have strength and mobility through our last years. And this is a sustainable form of exercise to keep us moving until the end. Easy breezy. I have a window in this room here that sometimes is tough to push up because it's one of those slider windows. And just from jumping instead, I can push that window up even if it's stiff. And it's because I have all the strength that I need to do the daily tasks around my house that I need to do with ease without needing help. But there's some things I might need help with, but I can do most everything just by jumping instead. I'm not doing any push-ups, I'm not doing any weightlifting, just jumping. And I just keep moving and keep connecting to my muscles. And it's very easy too, because we can keep our legs right here in place, and we can always hold on with one hand. This is an all ages workout. You're setting this example for yourself, for your family. Maybe you have kids, they're probably loving your rebounder. Kids know how fun it is to jump, because jumping just brings this, I don't know what it is with the tug down, it's just so invigorating. It feels so good, addicting. It's like that pump you get when you're weightlifting, because that's all we can relate it to. And something about getting that pump in our muscles feels really good. So we practice daily. We lengthen, we contract, and we find new ways to connect to ourselves. And then we keep ourselves in the steady aerobic pace that's fun and sustainable. And we can try new ways to move. Crisscrosses is fun, and we can always slow everything down. So if we want to work around the clock a little bit slower here, or we can pick it all the way up to crisscrosses. We can add twisting. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We can do kicking and work into the hamstrings and the core, which many of you already know all these moves, but I'm here to just inspire you to try new things in this cardio segment, nose breathing segment, where we're bringing up ourselves into the higher nose breathing zones. And it all is cardio. Like everything that brings the heart rate up should be considered cardio, because it's heart rate, right? Working the heart. So we're in the nose breathing zone. And then we can do side kicks, working the thighs and the hips. Easy breezy. Feeling so mobile and flexible through the hips. And then we can go easy low back. Really increasing flexibility in the lower back. And then we can lift the heels up and get into the quads. And then my favorite, hacky sacks. I don't know what it is about hacky sacks. Probably just from sitting on the floor, sitting in cross-legged positioning. This is the way to have that ultimate flexibility sitting in that position. And then jogging, let's all go ahead and take it to an easy jog. If you keep your feet connected, that's fine too. You can just do little knee points. Otherwise, you can start to one leg jump, jog. Jogging is such a good way to practice or to strengthen just walking motion, because this is a little bit of a faster walking motion. And then jumping on one leg increases intensity, because that's what you're doing now. You're not just jumping on two legs, you're jumping on one leg. And then you can obviously speed it up a little bit and still keep it easy. So why don't we go ahead and just breathe and stay quiet and calm while we move our bodies at a pace that feels good for us, and just meditate for 1 minute. Keep your breathing calm and feel your shoulders stretching. You don't have to over breathe. You can breathe less. You're still strengthening your heart, your lungs, your muscles. And you are strengthening your metabolism, and that is what the overall goal is, so that you can burn unwanted body fat. You don't have to be over breathing it out in these classes. Let's go 10 more seconds. 8, 6, 4, 2, 1, and just relax. See if you can bring your breath all the way down to a still or just minimal movement. Perfect. And now let's bring our bounce to a stop and do some sit bouncing. Then we will finish off with some lay bouncing. So we'll need pillows. I've got my pillow up here, and so I'll give you a chance to grab a pillow. Otherwise, let's start with non-bouncing movements. So we'll just rock. And I really like to get into my back here by twisting and staying mostly upright. And I'm keeping my head up this first round, lifting my hips. And then let's go ahead now and keep our head aligned with our spine and allow ourselves to dip back just a little bit, just enough, and pull that arm behind you to accentuate the dip. You can even look over your arm so that your head is turned and tilted, and dip. Go slow and easy and gracefully. Beautiful. All right, now let's just bounce here. So you don't have to bounce. I'm assuming most of you here have been in this class many times, and so you're already bouncing, but you don't have to bounce because there's so much that can be done without bouncing. And so let's go ahead and practice our leaning back. So if you're bouncing, you're just leaning back, and you can be lifting your feet up one at a time or both at a time. Perfect. So this would be non-bouncing, right? And we use our handlebar and we use our core muscles. We lean back and we get all this strength with all the support that we need to build ourselves up. And this soft, flexible surface. If we're bouncing, we're feeling how it feels against our core and our back. And if at any point our back has had enough, we stop bouncing, and then we can keep working without the bouncing, or we just take a break and give our back a break. And if we've just had enough, we can just stand back up and do some bouncing, because it's definitely something that we need to work into when it comes to sit bouncing. So I like to keep it easy. And then when we start to lift our legs up, which is the money, because we've got all the support we need here, we can point our legs and hold a flex through the quads which is so fun. This just builds up so much heat in the body. We can be very graceful with it, and we can always do one leg at a time and find ourselves in good form so that we look good doing it. We're also strengthening the neck under the chin, face muscles, just by leaning back, keeping our jaw in good mouth posture. Beautiful. Who can feel the heat building up, right? Easy. I love doing this in the evening times. If your rebounder is accessible for you everywhere you are in your house, which means you need one in every room, I mean, that would be really fun, but that could also be, you know, cluttery. But anyway, if your rebounder can move around with you and you can hang out with it wherever you are, you'll be more likely to get on. And then you can do easy movements, non-bouncing movements, or just bouncing movements of any kind, and just practice. Because that's what rebounding is. It's just an opportunity to practice your skill with this hobby that will be yours for life. The easy hobby of jumping instead of not moving, right? We're not replacing other things that we love to do in our life. We're just jumping instead of not jumping. We're jumping instead of not moving. So we have it. Now, I'm noticing I'm going even deeper now, all the way down, and I can do a full lay down, got my hands on my handlebar, and then I can sit all the way back up, and now I'm doing full sit-ups. Isn't that wonderful? And I use my core strength, and I don't have to, you know, grunt and push too hard and hurt myself in any way, and I can do full sit-ups. So let's go ahead and finish off with just some easy bouncing. And then we're gonna lay down. So we are gonna need a pillow, so grab a pillow if you've got one. You don't have to have a pillow. You can also put your hands behind your head. So I'll go ahead and put my pillow down. I like to put it right next to the handlebar. You can also put your pillow between your handlebar. There's no wrong way to do it unless the handlebar is in your way. So then we lay down, we put our head on our pillow, or there's actually three options. You can hold your head up and strengthen underneath your chin and neck. And you can also put your hands behind your head and still use your neck muscles. So you can always be getting something. If you have your head down, you still can be using your core muscles here. So here we have options. We can just relax and invert. We've got 3 more minutes. Or we can do some abs and we can do some toe touching. Leg swimming is one of my favorite moves here on laying down because you can flex through the quads, you can contract through the quads, which increases, you know, muscle activation and breathing rate, heart rate, and form. We can keep that jaw closed, obviously nose breathing, but keep it calm. And then we can also practice into our bouncing and get going here. And what we want to do is find ourselves flattening our back into the mat. We can also grab a pelvic floor squeeze and strengthen the pelvic floor more just by holding that internal squeeze like we're holding our pee. You know, we're keeping it closed. And then if your neck's tired, always give it a break by holding your head up or putting your head down. Now I like this tabletop position for bouncing. You can have your legs straight up, your feet connected. Your feet don't have to be connected. You just notice that it all evolves as you continue to practice in these classes. And then you could even practice one leg bouncing where you bounce with one leg and then you can straighten this other leg out and you can hold it in a contraction, a flex, or you can just let it hold here above the ground. Perfect. And then you could even bring yourself into a full tuck and bounce. I like to have my hands behind my head when I do this and lift the chin up a little bit. And then you're just giving yourself this little crunch position tuck bounce that's working into your muscles. I just love going at this easy pace. I just feel like it's so sustainable. And if I do this every single day in these classes, my strength is going to increase exponentially because I have hardly any recovery time. There will be moments of, days when you're a little bit sore. You just need recovery. You need to make sure you get enough water and sodium and nutrients to replenish yourself. And then you'll be back, and a good night's sleep, and you'll be back on your rebounder. And if you notice you're going daily, then that's when the strength just takes off. And you just feel light as a feather and strong as ever. And you feel like you can just sustain this for the rest of your life. Jumping instead, daily, with us, in class. So you never have to jump alone. All right, let's go ahead and all finish off with an inversion, easy world. If you haven't already been inverting, just relax and feel free also to squeeze up your legs. I like to reach up and give my foot a hello squeeze and squeeze the toes. My toes, these are my toes. You have your toes. We can acknowledge our feet, acknowledge our ankles, calves, and the knees, especially behind the knees. Perfect. We can even rub into the quads and then switch legs. If you have any tightness in any body part, that's a sign for you to go in and do the work on it, and so that you can push in and do a little reflexology, push that pain out, work it out with love, and don't expect it to go away in one day. Just work on it every day and just say, I worked on you today, I'll see you tomorrow. All right, rub and rub and rub, and then we can relax. You're welcome to stay here if you want to finish class and just rest on your rebounder. We also could do some tapping, body tapping. We can throw it in real quick. I'll put my pillow away. Body tapping is just such an invigorating feeling. It's something that we can do when we're away from our rebounders, if we're ever on vacation, or if we just need a little boost. It's the coolest thing. All we do is just tap. Most of you already know this, but we just tap our bodies. If you're wearing a ring, that can sometimes hurt. But just tap around the skin as lightly, or you can even use a fist and punch. And if you get all around your body and get into your neck, hit the lymphatic points that get the circulation going even more, the drainage points in the neck, collarbone, armpit, then get that lat back there while you're at it, neck, collarbone, armpit, around, and then the top of the stomach, down into the lower tummy and the hips, perfect, and then around your back. Don't forget, I like to switch to punches, glutes, and then slap down behind the knees, and around. And when you really get good at that slapping, I mean, you don't even have to get good at it, but you feel that buzz that you get. I believe it tightens the skin. I believe it lifts the skin. I believe it brings circulation to the skin. I believe it is good for the body. And also too, we want to do our face tapping as well as underneath our chin to get this under chin nice and tight. So we want to make sure our hands are clean too. And typically I like to do face slapping and under chin slapping first thing in the morning. And so I can have my clean hands and also just be in the habit of tapping my face right when I wake up to reduce any inflammation in my face. And also get the tapping in, and then in class I can do the rest of my body. The morning bounce too is just really good way to stimulate the body and the bowels so that you can just start your body up early, start your metabolism up early. You don't have to bounce for more than 15 to 30 seconds, and keep that state of mind so that you're always wanting to get to your rebounder, because if you start to push yourself, I have to do 5 minutes, I have to do 10 minutes, and then you're not doing any minutes, then you just need to realize that every bounce counts. And so even if you were to just bounce 3 times because you have to step over your rebounder to get somewhere important, that's better than no bouncing. And so just pull back and always approach it with easy world. And so you can just notice that you're connecting very good feelings to your jumping workouts or to getting on your rebounder. You want your rebounder to be your best friend and to associate the best feelings. When you get home from a car ride or from a trip or from work, you want to go straight to your rebounder, because your rebounder is giving you a massage. Your rebounder is making you feel good. It's lifting your mood, and it's making you feel empowered and poised and in good posture. And it just reminds you of how wonderful of a human being you are. That's what your rebounder is for you. And it gives you recovery days. It gives you endurance days. It gives you interval days. It gives you sitting and ab work days. And it gives you inversion days where you're just relaxing and resting. You can massage out any pain and tightness, and you can just have this fountain of youth and this health machine here for you at your service all day, every day. And so we really want to just have that relationship, that really strong, awesome relationship with our rebounders for the rest of our lives. My favorite rebounder on the planet is the Cellar Sizer Rebounder. This rebounder feels like a dream to jump on. I haven't yet found a rebounder comparable, but all rebounders give us something. I have a Jump Sport, well, you know this, most of this. I have a Jump Sport 350 Pro that I love. It has a nice firm bounce and a nice sturdy handlebar. The 550 Pro has a little bit of a softer bounce, a very luxurious experience indeed. And then the B cans are also really great bounces. They're a little bit more entry level. The bounce, the cost of the rebounder is a little bit lower, and so they're just perfect to get you going without having to break the bank. These don't break the bank. This one's a 600. I mean, it's a lifetime investment for your health, and for, like I said, you're investing in your best friend, potentially your doctor, your chiropractor, your therapist, all of the things that can be taken care of by having a rebounder in your home. So if you want to go for my number one recommendation, it would be the Cellar Sizer Rebounder, and the information is in the description box below. And then I like to also, last I'll say, is have two rebounders at least. And so the Cellar Sizer being the muscle machine rebounder, highest resistance, but also really incredible bounce. And then also a bungee rebounder, just so that I can have that more gentle experience. It's just a little bit gentler, and it's also just a different rebounder. It's like a different home gym piece of equipment. It's like having a treadmill and elliptical. It's two different machines. So I like to have both, and I encourage you to do the same. So if you have one, feel free to get the other one, and then you can have them in two different spots in your home. Be encouraged to jump more, bring more health into your body, and then just live a long, healthy, happy life. Find your healthiest body composition and that strong digestion, that immune system that just cannot be beat, and then that flexibility and strength through and through. And so that's what rebounding does. We're here for you 6 days a week here at I Jump Instead. So jump on into these classes daily. And then we do have more vigorous workouts available for you that follow this class in our trophy membership here on YouTube. It's only $24.99 per month, and we give you 6 classes every week. We just want you on the rebounder with someone. So you have these classes that will keep you in foundational health, and then if you want to take your fitness to the next level, we have those daily classes for you as well following this class. They're always available for viewing after they go live, so you never have to be there live with us, but we are here for you 6 days a week in the beginners class and in an intermediate class, so that you never have to jump alone, and you can always learn, and you can learn everything you need to learn, because there's a lot to learn when it comes to jumping instead, and we're here for you every step of the way. All right, all that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for being here in class with me today. Thanks for the like if you like this video, and if you're committing to these classes daily, let me know what your name is down below so that I can meet you. I want to see your name, and you can give me an emoji if you want with your name, or you can write the date, but I'd love to know who you are. Okay, trophies, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh no, so Friday is the last day of the week. We're off Saturdays, and then we'll see you Sunday. But jump instead tomorrow if you want to jump into another class, and so that you can keep your body moving, or you can freestyle and free flow on your Saturday. So you can keep moving, and then we'll see you in class on Sunday. Take care, lots of love, bye-bye.